olives are actually not tender. They will take frost, quite hard frost, but only if they're dry. They absolutely hate being cold and wet. But I should preface this by saying that olives are under threat from a disease called xylella. And this has been around for a number of years, but it has really caused major problems on the continent. And the government is restricting the importation of olive trees and actually other plants like lavender and rosemary that can carry the disease. But if you do buy an olive from a nursery or a reputable garden centre, or if you have one, potting it on about every other year is a good idea. I've mixed up the compost already, and you can see that it is really gritty, but whatever you can use, it must drain well. And I'm taking it out of this plastic pot, which has been in for a couple of years, and putting it in a terracotta one. Because, as well as looking better, it drains better. So that goes in the bottom. Now, I'll put some compost underneath. I've put about a quarter full at the bottom of the pot so the roots can get down in there. Now, if we take this out the pot like that, and I'm going to gently tease off the old compost. Now, what I'm doing is just, without damaging the roots, trying to get rid of some of the old compost, because that will be completely spent. All the nutrition will be gone. I don't always do this, but generally it's a good idea. And particularly if it's a plant that you haven't potted on for a few years. That's it. Give it a good scratch. Right. That now has almost got no soil on it at all. Perfect. Now, when you're at this stage, get your fingers and work it down under the roots. You don't want any air pockets at all. Now, the last thing to do is just give it a wiggle, pull it a bit and wiggle it around. And what you're doing is just making sure that every little bit of compost is working into the roots. Now, I will feed this with a liquid feed once a fortnight. I like to use liquid seaweed, but if you're having trouble getting hold of it, a tomato feed will do just as well. And do remember to give it a really good soak weekly. And don't worry if the water just pours through, because the olive will love it.